G'day guys, how you doing? And recently I've been asked if I could make another video regarding the Primalucelab Eagle 4 computer. My thoughts, what I dislike about the unit, and how things have been getting on with it. Also, any advice that I might be able to give, as well as in regards to maybe you guys purchasing a Primalucelab Eagle 4 computer, or you may already have one and it might be a little bit of a tip, just in case you didn't know about it. Well, if this is the very first video of mine that you've seen and you're thinking about purchasing an Eagle 4 computer and haven't seen my other videos, stay tuned because I have some extra information about this unit too. So let's quickly talk specs about the Eagle 4 computer before we go into other aspects of the video. Now, this is the base version, so this is the Eagle 4 computer with the Intel Celeron chip. It has 4 gig of RAM and 120 gig hard drive. Now, this unit here is actually got 8 gig of RAM, and I'm going to tell you a bit later on in the video exactly how you can upgrade the RAM in your Eagle 4 computer. There are other variants of the Eagle 4 computer available too, and they are the Eagle 4S and the Eagle 4 Pro. Now, the Eagle 4S is the middle version. It has an Intel Core i3 CPU with 8 gig of RAM, 240 gig hard drive, 3 USB 3.1s, 1 USB 3.1 Type-C, 5 USB 2.0s. And then you got the high range, which is the Eagle 4 Pro, and that has an Intel Core i5 with 16 gig of RAM, 480 gig hard drive, 3 USB 3.1 Type-A's, 1 USB 3.1 Type-C, 5 USB 2.0s. Along with your Eagle 4 computer, you also have your i. Now, the i found to be absolutely fantastic, and I really enjoy using the i function. Teamed up with your Primalucelab Echo environmental computer, you can also integrate your sky quality meter readings in with your file of your actual image as well, your title, or lost for words. When using software like Nina, I can integrate my sky quality reading into the header of my file name. File name, that's the word I was looking for, file name. So that way I can go out to various locations if I'm not just shooting from a backyard, and I can recall and see exactly what sort of border sky I was imaging under. Also, if any sort of light cloud comes over, I can see a dip in the sky quality reading there. So if I want to throw out those subs, I can, and keep the good ones. So I really find the i to be a very valuable device in my imaging and the way I go about imaging my system. Now, the unit also has Wi-Fi. One thing about the Wi-Fi on this unit I've found is that whenever I go to turn on my Eagle 4 computer, every now and then it doesn't activate the Wi-Fi for some reason. I don't know why that is. So what I need to do is just turn the unit off and then turn it back on again, and it boots up fine. One of the other things that I have been testing is plugging the unit on and just having it powered, not switched on, but just powered, and letting that sit for about 5 minutes or so, and then turn it on. And I've sort of found that that's been fixing the whole Wi-Fi system a little bit there. So I'm not too sure if it's a bit of a letting power run through the system to assist, or what it is. But that is one of the things that I've found with the Wi-Fi on this unit. Now, the Wi-Fi alone is great. The only time I've had dropout issues is when we've had a strong aurora, and that actually caused a lot of electrical interference, believe it or not, which I found quite amazing that the sun had impact on what I was imaging at that time and the devices I was using to image, so I didn't end up going ahead and with the rest of that night imaging. It was quite a strong storm, by the way. It also has a GPS unit, which I don't have plugged into here at this moment. I don't really need to worry too much about the GPS side of things, so I'm not too bothered by that. You got your 4 power ports at the back of the unit itself. They are very valuable, and especially when I use software like Nina, I can activate via switch in the Nina software on what power ports that I want on or at what time. So that way, if I'm going to set up an imaging session for that night, and I'm sitting there during the day programming, planning my sequence through, I can leave everything turned on and running. However, I can have all these ports turned off and then turn them on throughout the night automatically via the software, and I can go out to dinner or go for a drive or whatever it is that I want to go do, and know that my imaging session is underway and all powered by the use of the Eagle 4 computer. So are there enough USB ports on the Eagle 4 computer? And the answer is yes. Not a lot of yous, I would assume, are out there shooting dual imaging setups. However, with the dual imaging setup, I still can run everything off of the Eagle 4 computer. Now, when I was running the ZWO cameras, I could then free up some USB ports, so the electronic focus motor could plug into the front of the device hub on the ZWO cameras. Now, I'm not using ZWO cameras anymore, I'm using QHY, but still there's enough USB ports on there for that. I'm also using a USB stick as well, so my images get saved to my USB stick and I can just unplug them and plug them into the computer. So there are plenty of USB ports on this unit here, and I haven't had any issues at all in regards to that. Now, the 4 USB 2.0 ports, you can physically turn them off and turn them on. So if you get a unit or a device that seems to hang and you need to reset that, instead of having to go out there to your telescope and unplug that USB port and plug it back in again, you can just use the Primalucelab Manager software to then turn off that USB port and then turn it back on, and it resets that way. So that's a really cool function to have on the Primalucelab Eagle computer. So another thing that separates the Eagle 4 computer from a lot of other computer systems is the dew heating ports on the Eagle 4. Now, you can connect up to 3 dew heating strips with this, or you can also automate the whole thing with a environmental computer as well, running some temperature probes off here. And what that does is it calculates your dew point setting, and then it will automatically turn on your ports and send power to your dew heating strip, providing that you need it. And if you don't need it, it won't turn them on. So that's a good way of also being able to save power and at the same time reduce the amount of dew, or reduce dew forming on your computer, on your corrector, on your front element if you're using a refractor. Now, powering your Eagle 4 computer, it does come with a cigarette lighter adapter, and I don't know why they do that, to be honest. It is advised not to use a cigarette lighter adapter to power your Eagle 4 computer. And the reason for that is that you cannot really go under 12 volts with the unit itself. So when you're plugging it straight into your power source, you've got to make sure that you are using, or you are up around at I'm going to say an absolute bare minimum 12.4 volts. Now, it is recommended to be at about 12.8 volts, but I have used this unit here for quite some time with dual cameras, with everything all running, and it's been fine at 12.4 volts. But it is highly advised to regulate your power, and by regulating it, I mean using something like this here. Now, this here is my Victron Energy isolated DC-DC converter, 12 volt, 9 amp. So what I can do with this here is I can adjust the amount of power going to my Eagle 4 computer. Now, depending on how long your power cable is, you can lose voltage within that as well. So your battery may be a 12.4 volt battery, and it may be showing 12.4 volts of charge. However, when it gets to your Eagle computer, you may lose a volt or two in that. So all of a sudden you're down on power. Now with this here, you can turn it up and crank up the voltage. So I run 12.8 volts directly to the computer itself, and I can see that 12.8 volt reading on the Eagle 4 Manager software. But you also got to be careful with a regulator as well, because a regulator will just keep drawing and drawing and drawing power from your battery, and it can cause your battery to then deplete so much that it may not end up charging back up again, depending on the sort of battery you have. So it is important to also have a regulator that can also detect your battery's power levels, and if it's getting too low or critically low, then it will just disconnect and stop pulling power from it altogether, which then is going to shut off your Eagle 4 computer, because you're protecting your battery as well. So there are some things, some challenges there if you're running your Eagle 4 off of the 12 volt power source. Just take that into mind, consideration, and make sure that you've got enough battery pack power to power your unit throughout the imaging session. Now in a moment I'm going to open up my Eagle 4 computer so you can have a look on the inside of it. But to give you an idea, basically the Eagle 4 is a Intel NUC. And then on the back end of the Eagle computer, Primalucelab have created their own power board setup to power your G-heating devices and your power devices, as well as your extra USB ports and so on. So it's kind of like a bit of a two-unit section, two boards in one system. But if you want to upgrade your RAM on your Eagle 4 computer, there is a NUC, Intel NUC model number that you can see, and then you can jump on the Intel website, put in your model number, and it will give you a list of compatible RAM sticks that you can then try and find and purchase to upgrade the RAM on your computer. Now, I do not advise doing this unless you are competent in knowing or know a bit about your computers and your devices and your RAM and your installations and all that sort of stuff. Also, there is an extremely high probability that you are going to void your warranty on your unit. So take all this with a pinch of salt. It is entirely up to you on whether you want to end up doing this. As I said, this was the base version. I found that multitasking with it using multiple Nina screens, as well as PhD running, as well as CPWI running. With 4 gig of RAM, it was a little bit clunky, a little bit slow. Since I upgraded to 8 gig of RAM, it's been completely fine. It's been great, actually. That clunkiness has sort of gone away. The multitasking is a lot easier and a lot better to use. Again, I am using double of everything pretty much to what majority of people may end up using with this device here. So if you're just using your single scope, single camera, or you may not even be using using a cool camera, you may be using a DSLR, which it does have a snap cable control on here as well. There's a pretty good chance that a base version Eagle, if you want to save some money, is going to be perfectly fine. For me, as you can see, this is the base version Eagle, and it's been great. And I use it with a twin RASA imaging setup with twin cooled cameras, twin focus motors, and everything. So it's entirely up to you on what you want to do, but let's have a look on the inside of our Eagle 4. So I've just opened up my my computer, and as you can see here, we have our RAM that sits right here, and this has been upgraded to 8 gig Kingston. And we can see that this here is the NUC Intel board here, and then here we've got the Primalucelab computer board as well, which is teed into the NUC. You've also got an SD card reader right here as well. So if you want to increase your memory capacity, you could probably install an SD card in here as well, and then that will give you a bit of extra memory if you want to save some stuff to that as well, like maybe some backup or anything like that. Now over here we've got the Intel NUC model number, which is, I don't know if you can see here, but it's written right here what sort of model NUC that was used in this Eagle 4 computer. So when I enter that number there in the Intel NUC website, I can then see what sort of other devices are compatible with the board itself, and majority of that was to do with the RAM upgrade. There are 2 slots here for RAM upgrades, but again, I believe that this base version here, the maximum you can go on that is 8 gig of RAM. So you might be able to pick yourself up a 4 gig of RAM stick that is capable with the other 4 gig of RAM that you may already own. So when imaging, how do I access the Eagle 4 computer with it being outside? Well, I use my laptop and I Wi-Fi into the actual unit itself. Now there are a comprehensive list of instructions to follow to do this. So I use Windows Remote Desktop to log into my unit and be able to control it via Wi-Fi. Sometime in the future, when the system is possibly more permanently set up, I will connect up to it using a networking cable, Ethernet cable, and run that from probably where I am to the house itself. I'll find that the hopefully the communication between the laptop and the Eagle 4 running via Ethernet cable will be a little bit more quicker and a little bit more responsive compared to the Wi-Fi, where it can be a little bit more on the less responsive side. I don't know if that's different for the Eagle 4 S or Eagle 4 Pro versions with the larger, more powerful CPU, whether that reduces lag. But overall, I'm really happy with the unit, and I hope this video has helped answer any questions that you may have about probably purchasing an Eagle 4 computer, or if you already own an Eagle 4 computer and you found it a little bit interesting to know just a little bit more about the unit itself. I personally love this computer here, although it's out of warranty now. So if something does eventually go wrong with it, then I'll be going out and having to purchase myself another one. But I will go and do the same mods to this one, like I did to a newer one, like I did to this one here, because I really do find that you can save yourself some money by adding that extra 4 gig of RAM to the unit, but not pay the difference between an Eagle 4 and Eagle 4 S. It just really comes down to personal preference. I mean, will the i3 chip be more powerful and more significant to you? Then you're already going to have that extra RAM upgrade. But if you've already got one of these base versions and you thought about upgrading the RAM, then that's how you can do it. Alright guys, so that's it for me. So don't forget to give me a big thumbs up if this is the first video you've seen. Please check out some of my other videos, and if you have enjoyed them too, hit that subscribe. Every subscribe means a great deal to me, and I really hope that we can continue to help build this Astro channel. Alright guys, so that's it for me. So until next time, take it easy. See yous.